In sports, there are great players, and then there are those who change the game forever. In hockey, one name stands above all others: Wayne Gretzky, the Great One. A player who didn't just break records, he shattered them. 894 goals, 1,963 assists, 2,857 points. Numbers so large they seem impossible. But Wayne Gretzky was more than just numbers. He was an artist on ice, seeing plays before they happened, finding teammates no one else could see. He turned hockey from a game of strength into a game of skill. How does one man change an entire sport? The answer lies in a story that began on a backyard rink in Brantford, Ontario, where a small boy with big dreams would practice until his father had to force him inside. That boy would grow up to become the greatest hockey player who ever lived. This is the story of how Wayne Gretzky didn't just play hockey, he changed it forever. In 1961, Walter Gretzky built a backyard rink that would change hockey history. They called it the Wally Coliseum. Little Wayne would spend hours on this ice, long after other kids had gone inside. His father, Walter, didn't just teach him hockey. He taught him to think differently about the game. While other kids were learning to shoot harder, Wayne was learning to see patterns. Walter would draw hockey plays on newspapers at the kitchen table. He made Wayne watch hockey games on TV and trace the path of the puck, not the players. These simple lessons would later become the foundation of Wayne's unique playing style. By age 6, Wayne was playing against 10-year-olds. By 10, he scored 378 goals in one season, a glimpse of what was to come. But what made him special wasn't just his scoring. It was how he played the game. Behind the net became his playground, his office, as people would later call it. While other players saw this as dead space, Wayne saw opportunities. He would use this area to control the entire game, something no player had done before. As Wayne grew, so did his reputation. He was breaking records at every level. But more importantly, he was playing hockey in a way nobody had seen before. He wasn't the biggest, wasn't the fastest, and didn't have the hardest shot. What he had was something different, a mind that could see the game in ways others couldn't. By 1978, Wayne Gretzky wasn't just ready for professional hockey. He was ready to revolutionize it. The skinny kid from Brantford was about to show the world a completely new way to play the game. In 1979, the NHL absorbed 4 teams from the World Hockey Association. Among them were the Edmonton Oilers, and with them came a teenage Wayne Gretzky. Nobody knew it then, but hockey was about to change forever. In his first season, Wayne scored 137 points, but that was just the beginning. Wayne didn't just score goals, he changed how the game was played. He turned the area behind the net into the most dangerous spot on the ice. Other teams didn't know how to defend it because no one had ever used it like this before. His style was so effective that the NHL had to change its rules. When teams started taking penalties just to stop him, the league created the Gretzky rule, changing how penalties worked when both teams got them at the same time. But Wayne's biggest impact wasn't in how he scored, it was in how he thought about hockey. While others tried to overpower defenders, Wayne simply outsmarted them. He didn't go where the puck was, he went where it was going to be. He became hockey's first true quarterback, controlling the game like a chess master. His passes weren't just accurate, they were ahead of their time. He would pass to empty ice, knowing his teammate would get there just as the puck did. With Wayne leading the way, the Edmonton Oilers became unstoppable. 4 Stanley Cups in 5 years. Records that seemed unbreakable were shattered. In 1981-82, he scored 92 goals, still a record today. In 1985-86, he put up 215 points, another record that still stands. The entire league had to change. Teams couldn't just be big and tough anymore. They had to be smart. They needed players who could think the game like Gretzky did. But no one could think the game quite like number 99. In 1988, a trade shook the hockey world. Wayne Gretzky, the greatest player in hockey, was leaving Canada for Los Angeles. It wasn't just a player changing teams. It was hockey's entire landscape about to shift. They called it the trade. When Wayne Gretzky cried at that press conference, all of Canada cried with him. But what seemed like the end of an era was actually the beginning of something bigger. Hockey had always been a northern sport, played in cold cities where ice was natural. But Wayne Gretzky in Los Angeles changed all that. Suddenly, kids in California wanted to play hockey. Movie stars were showing up at games. Hockey was becoming cool in places where it had never mattered before. The Great One didn't just fill seats. He he filled dreams. In cities where most kids had never seen ice, they were now begging for hockey skates. Practice rinks started popping up across the American South and West. The sport was growing in ways nobody had imagined. Because of Gretzky's success in Los Angeles, the NHL started adding teams in places like San Jose, Anaheim, and Tampa Bay. Hockey was no longer just Canada's game or the Northeast game. It was becoming everyone's game. Kids who grew up watching Gretzky in these new hockey cities are now in the NHL themselves. Players like Austin Matthews from Arizona aren't just making it to the league, they're becoming stars. For the first time, a hockey player was more than an athlete. He was a celebrity. Wayne Gretzky was on TV shows, in commercials, and on magazine covers. He made hockey mainstream in America in a way no one had done before. Numbers in hockey were just numbers until Wayne Gretzky came along. Then, they became something else. They became unbelievable. Let's put it simply, Wayne Gretzky scored 894 goals in his career. If he had never scored a single goal, not one, he would still be the NHL's all-time points leader just from his assists alone. But it wasn't just about how many points he scored, it was about how he scored them. Before Gretzky, teams thought scoring was about shooting the puck as much as possible. Wayne showed that it was about making the right play at the right time. He broke the game down to its simplest form. While others saw chaos on the ice, Wayne saw patterns. He knew where every player would be 5 seconds before they got there. Teams had to create whole new defensive systems just to try to stop him. Coaches started teaching the Gretzky way. Don't skate to where the puck is, skate to where it's going to be. Don't just look at the player with the puck, watch everyone else. These ideas seem obvious now, but they were revolutionary then. His success changed how teams built their rosters. They started looking for players who could think the game, not just players who could hit hard or shoot fast. Hockey became more about skill and less about size. Look at today's NHL. The fast skating, the creative passing, the plays from behind the net. That's all part of Wayne's legacy. He didn't just break records. He broke the mold of what people thought hockey could be. Before Gretzky, hockey was often called a simple game: shoot the puck, hit hard, score goals. After Gretzky, it became chess on ice. The game got faster, smarter, and more exciting. Teams scored more goals, fans saw more action, and the sport became more entertaining than ever. Every NHL star today grew up in a hockey world that Wayne Gretzky created. His influence lives on in ways both big and small. Watch Connor McDavid work behind the net, or see how Nathan MacKinnon creates space for his teammates. These moves all started with number 99. Today's stars learned from watching Gretzky, even if they were too young to see him play. In hockey rinks across the world, coaches still teach the Gretzky rule: skate to where the puck is going, not where it is. Young players learn to use the whole ice just like Wayne did. His thinking has become part of how hockey is taught. Even the way we study hockey has changed because of Gretzky. Teams now use computers to track things like time in the offensive zone and pass completions, things that became important because Wayne showed how valuable they were. The game has spread to places Wayne helped it reach. There are now NHL stars from California, Texas, and Arizona. In these places, many kids first picked up a hockey stick because of what Gretzky started. The NHL has changed its rules many times since Wayne played, but one thing stays the same: the focus on skill and speed that he brought to the game. Today's NHL is faster and more skilled than ever, building on the foundation Wayne created. Wayne Gretzky retired in 1999, but his impact on hockey will never end. He showed us that hockey isn't just about being the biggest or strongest, it's about being the smartest. He proved that thinking differently could change everything. They retired his number 99 across the entire NHL, something never done for any other player. But his real legacy isn't in the rafters of hockey arenas. It's on the ice every time someone makes a no-look pass, sets up behind the net, or thinks about the game in a new way. Looking back at hockey before Wayne Gretzky and after, it's like watching two different sports. The game transformed from one of pure power to one of endless possibilities. Before Gretzky, hockey followed simple rules: shoot hard, hit harder. After him, it became a game of creativity, speed, and smart thinking. He showed us that the most powerful weapon in hockey isn't a hard shot, it's an amazing mind. Today's NHL is everything Wayne imagined it could be. Games are played in desert cities he helped bring hockey to. Players make passes he invented. Kids who never saw snow grow up dreaming of skating on ice. When you watch today's stars, Connor McDavid's speed, Austin Matthews' shooting, Patrick Kane's stick handling, you're watching pieces of Wayne's legacy. These players grew up in a world where hockey was different because of one player who dared to be different. In every hockey rink, from Toronto to Tampa Bay, From Montreal to Los Angeles, young players try moves that Wayne Gretzky first showed the world. They play in leagues that exist because he helped spread the game. They dream big because he showed them they could. Wayne Gretzky didn't just play hockey better than anyone else, he made hockey better for everyone else. He showed us that the game could be more than we imagined, that records were made to be shattered, and that the impossible was possible. They called him the Great One because of how he played. But maybe they should have called him that because of what he left behind, a game forever changed, forever bigger, and forever better.